later if you want to, if you want to refer to it. So now it's not gonna, gosh. It doesn't want me to change my slide. Why? Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, there we go. Let me let these guys in. Sorry. Okay, so we're here today to talk about the Maryland 250. I know everybody kind of is doing different things, so this is just we want to get together and just kind of create a more cohesive approach to the Maryland 250. And that's pretty much what most everybody has done. They've created some kind of committee or commission or something like that. So this is just the first stages of us doing that, to have an open dialogue with all of our partners and discuss what each one of us are doing and kind of just touch base with everybody. So this slide just reviews what the purpose of the commission was, which was to commemorate the 250 of America, and the charge was to create an inclusive commemoration for the state. And that's what we have Michele Johnson here today. She's going to review all that, so I'm not going to get into great detail about that. But I swear to you, my computer's not working right. I want to change slides. There we go. So Michele is going to talk to us today, give us an overview of what the purpose of the commission was. She's going to speak to the grants that are available, resources and support that's available through the commission. And we also have Mary Zell on the call today with us. She is programs and partnership specialist for the commission. So we will have them on with us, and they're going to stay on for questions at the end or comments if we have any for them. So Michele, you there?
I'm here, and
Okay.
Zell just messaged me that she's in the waiting room, and she would love to come in. And Kim, I just want to point out, and hi everybody, I'm so glad to be here, and I see some friendly faces. Robin Summerfield, who I've known forever, and Ruth, who became a great friend when I was in Cumberland last year, and I don't see too many other folks. Are you still not in?
Can you please ask her to admit me into the waiting room?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
It doesn't show her in the waiting room.
Might have to use my name because I'm not logged into Zoom.
Oh, she's not logged into Zoom. Do you see somebody in the waiting room?
No, I don't have anybody in the waiting room right now.
Waiting room.
You sent me, Michele. Well, I'll try again.
Just why don't you?
Can I try again, please, so I can multitask?
Try again. Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Anyway, I'm so glad to be here. And first, I just want to say thank you because great things are happening all around the state of Maryland for the 250th, and the national commemoration has sort of taken a shift, but in Maryland we are guided by our executive order. Just one correction, if you go back, one correction. I actually have a dot in my email address that's missing. Michele.Johnson1. And so anyway, if you
I'll correct that before I send it out.
Excellent. But I love this slide. It's beautiful. Okay, so next slide, please. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what is happening in Maryland. And, if you're interested in what's happening in other communities, I've been traveling in the state in the 2+ years. Mary Zell still can't get in, so she's going to sit.
I just admitted her.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, I see it's loading now. I'm so sorry about that. I'm sorry for interrupting. I'll go hop into my office then. Apologies.
All right, excellent. So next slide, please. I'm going to talk to you a little bit, an overview of the 250th in Maryland, talk to you about the local 250 commissions that are around the state and actually show you a map. Talk to you about commission and partner initiatives, our small grants program, marketing and support opportunities, and then I'm happy to answer any questions. Next slide, please. So this is a national commemoration with state and local execution. Do you all know the word semi-quincentennial? Is there anybody here who knows that word? And is there anybody here who can say that word? Just unmute yourself and let's hear it. Ruth, can you say it?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. Semi-quincentennial. There we go.
Awesome. Awesome. And the easiest way to remember this word is to break it into pieces. And I just break it into 3 pieces, semi, quin, centennial. And when you do it that way, it all comes together. So we are guided by the Maryland 250 Executive Order, which you can read word for word on our website, which focuses not only on the Revolutionary War period, but actually on 250 years, what led to the Revolutionary War, what happened in Maryland during the war, and what has happened since the war. We are charged with engaging all Marylanders, and our focus is on 3 themes: history, civics, and service. In the executive order, you will see some priorities that are noted: Indigenous people and communities, free and enslaved African Americans, youth, new Americans, and lifelong learners. We are also charged with celebrating service to country and community and creating and engaging with cultural assets and visitor experiences. Next slide, please. So this map is where the local 250 commissions or committees have launched in Maryland. Allegany County is now green because we are attending your launch meeting. So this is awesome. You can see there are still some areas in the within the state that are not in green, but I do expect a full map at some point in like the next few months. Next slide, please. These are some of the initiatives of the commission and of partners of the commission. The Maryland 400 fought in the Battle of Brooklyn in New York. We are co-sponsoring an annual Sons of the American Revolution bus trip and program in New York in August of 2026. We're really excited about this. We have a small grants program, and I have a few slides coming up with a little more detail about our small grants program. And when I say small, I mean it. But even though they're small, they're making a big difference. And I've seen this in my travels all around the state. We have a revolutionary baseball program, and we are tabling at 1 game at each of the 6 minor league ballparks in Maryland, both this season in August and next season. And we are also looking at a revolutionary civics program that was actually proposed by a high school student. So we're very excited about that. We will have a commemorative publication, and we will invite each of the local 250 commissions or committees to put together a page in this commemorative publication. We will soon have on our programs page, which will soon launch on our website, a Revolutionary War statewide story map. And this was an almost 400-page document that was donated by historian Ralph Eshelman to the commission, and Travis, who was a service year member who was with us last year. Travis created this beautiful Revolutionary War statewide story map. The Maryland Mosaic is a collection of national firsts that happened in Maryland. There's about 150 of these, 150 stories, and including stories from Allegany County. And when I saw Ruth the last time I was in Allegany County, we actually looked at the Maryland stories in the Mosaic. This is a partner project, and they have their own website, which is maryland400.org. There will be a monument to Black Revolutionary War patriots on the grounds of the State House, and that reveal is supposed to happen in August of 2026. Two books are in process, one by the Maryland State Archives on the Maryland 400, the individual members in the Maryland 400, and it is my understanding that the Maryland 400 actually was more than 400, and that they've identified almost 1,000 members of the Maryland 400. So I don't know if they're going to change the name. I have no idea. There'll also be a coffee table book that is in process with Maryland Public TV and Carol Highsmith, who is based in Hagerstown. And she's a nationally known photographer who's done beautiful coffee table photo books about 49 states. And Maryland, she saved our state, the best state for last. And finally, Ken Burns has created another documentary, this one on the American Revolution, and this will launch on PBS in November. And it's 12 hours and it will be over 6 nights. Next, please. So a little bit about our small grants. We are really, really excited to be offering this program to our stakeholders around the state. When concluded, this program will be a $750,000 program awarding not quite 200 grants, more somewhere between 180 and 200. Hopefully by the end of this year. In rounds 1 and 2, the commission has awarded more than 100 grants, totaling more than $460,000, including 2 grants in Montgomery County, or I'm sorry, in Allegany County. And I looked over, I have a map on my wall in my office of where all our grantees are located, and I see 2 stars in Allegany County. Round 3 has launched for inclusive history, and I'll talk about the 3 grant programs in a minute. For inclusive history only, there is a hard deadline of July 25th. So the timing is really good if you want to send in a proposal for inclusive history. You have 3 days to do it. You actually have till 11:59 p.m. on Friday, July 25th. Our grants are small. They range from $1,000 to $7,500, and no match is required. And it is a huge priority of this commission to distribute the funds all around the state. And as of now, there are 2 states that have not applied for grant funding in the previous rounds, but the good news is they have since applied in this current round. So hopefully we will soon be able to say that we have awarded grants in every county of the state of Maryland. If you look at the grants page on our website, there are other 250th funding opportunities that our staff has searched for and identified, mostly state and private funding. And I encourage you to look at that. We used to have a very robust federal funding section on that page, and we checked, and many of the links have vanished. So anyway, we've sort of taken that down, and we'll see what happens. There's currently 1 federal grant that is up there. Next slide, please. The Citizen Academy grants, and this, we really hope this is a legacy program of the Maryland 250 Commission. These are $1,000 grants. We hope to award 50, and we are more than halfway there. These grants are for local government, either counties or municipalities, library systems, public K-12, and higher ed institutions. These are for short-term free educational programming for residents to meet elected and staff leaders and learn how their community works. If you have a pothole, on your road, you sign up for Citizens Academy and you meet the Public Works team and you understand what you need to do to get this pothole filled. The end goal is citizen engagement. It's citizen awareness and also citizen engagement. And we really hope that we can move the needle on candidates running for office in local elections, on people who are willing to raise their hand and say, boy, what I love to volunteer on the Planning Commission or the Board of Public Works in my town. We have funded both general citizen academies or specific. For instance, we have funded a planning citizen academy and a public safety citizen academy. And as one with a master's in planning, I know that planning is a great mystery to most people. And anyway, so we're very excited about this. And I love the idea of an intergenerational citizen academy with high school students and their parents. So anyway, if you have any interest in citizen academies, apply. And I would love, to see some of the municipalities or the county do this. And, there's local community leadership programs. And I believe there's a leadership Allegany. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. But the local community, and I used to be director of leadership Frederick. I was director of that for 11 years. Seems like many lives ago. And they're great programs, but they're very expensive and they are a year-long commitment. And this is a whole different vision for a short-term program, a couple of 2-3 months, meeting one night a week or meeting on Saturdays and just having similar opportunities, but in a shorter time frame, open access to everyone. Next, please. Okay, so the next grant program is Maryland 250 Fellows, and this is another hopefully legacy program. These are 50 grants up to 7,500, and we have awarded, I think it's 27 at this point, 27 or 28. So we still have a little ways to go, but 8 are being considered right now by the commission. We'll continue to consider both Citizen Academy grants and Maryland 250 Fellows grants until the funds are expended. These are grants to pay an intern to work with a mentor on a meaningful project that is somehow connected to the executive order of the commission. And eligible to apply are nonprofits, local government, libraries, public K-12, and higher ed. Next. Oh, I think we missed inclusive history, or did I not put in a slide for that? Kim, can you just scroll back and see? I think we may have missed that.
I'm looking through yeah, that's all I had.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I'm going to just talk about inclusive history then.
Okay.
And that is a grant up to $4,000. And the commission has already awarded 70 of those grants. This is the grant program that is closing on Friday at 11:59 p.m. And this is for programs, projects, events, exhibits, research. Okay, and again, up to $4,000. So if you are interested in applying for inclusive history grant, I believe that the round that closes on July 25th may actually be the final round. So I encourage you to, if you're interested in that at all, you got 3 days to look it over and to apply. And again, these are all on the grants page of our website. Next, briefly, marketing and support opportunities. If you would like us to co-sponsor your events, just reach out and any requests will be considered by the commission. We offer customized partner logos. And if you look in the bottom left corner of the screen, that is the Maryland 250 logo. We have a vertical and a horizontal version of that logo. And we also have, I think we have a couple of different colors. So some local communities have asked, can we have a Maryland 250 logo with our county underneath, with Allegany County or with the heritage area, whatever. If you want something, Kim, just talk to me and we'll take care of it. We are happy to promote your events, your places, and your stories. If you look at our website, you can see what we already have there. And I encourage you to go to our places page on the website and to see what is there for Allegany County. And if we're missing something, just tell us. And, everything that's there was created by our team and identified by our team. And we're doing our best to find events and to find places, but it's possible we are missing, some important things that exist or are happening in Allegheny County. We have a monthly newsletter, and if you want to sign up to receive it, just go to our website, scroll down to the bottom where it says sign up for updates, and send us your email address. We had an in-person day-long symposium for stakeholders in May. And other than that, just to be as inclusive as we can, in light of the geographic spread of our state, we have virtual meetings every 6 weeks, and we also have monthly virtual office hours. And we would love to, if you're ever interested, we would love for you to join us. We promote these on the news page of our website and on the commission social media, which I encourage you to find us and follow us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on Instagram. Next, please. Oh,
Well, I put in my slides, Michelle. I was hoping you could just stick around and we'll do question and answer at the end. Is that good?
That is
a couple slides.
Yeah, Kim, that's fine. I'm happy to sit around, and Mary Zell is here too. Yep.
Okay. So I have just a few slides to go over that pertain more directly to, Allegheny County. However, Michelle did, kind of touch on some of the things, so I'm going to try not to be repetitive. But so she did touch on, the themes that the commission had created. And when you go to the website, you'll see that places, events, and civics and service are the four key areas that they're focused on, and you're going to want to focus on when you're planning your events and programming and whatever it is that you're working on. I did want to mention too that a lot of things that we already do in Allegheny County are focused on this, so we don't necessarily have to recreate the wheel. A lot of the things that we already do are already centric to the 250. Heritage Days is a great example of that. That just by nature is a 250 event. So make sure that you are identifying what you already have planned as a 250 event if you already have things planned, which I know a lot of us do. This is, again, Michelle went over a lot of these things, but again, we'll send this out at the end of this meeting so that they're easy access for you guys. But the web link to the 250, definitely get on there and explore. They do have a great website if you haven't done that already. Their Facebook, their Instagram, the form for inclusion. So if you haven't added your location or your event or your programming, that is the link for the form that you're going to want to use to do that. That we don't have a lot of presence on the website for Allegheny County, and I know that we should. So I would encourage everybody to make sure that you are putting your things on the commission website, because we're gonna locally rely heavily on the commission website to get our information for Allegheny County. So we really want it to be in both locations. So that's the form you're going to use to do that. That next link is their newsletter link. Obviously, you want to stay up to date with everything that's going on. So make sure that you sign up for their newsletters. They also have a planning guide, which is chock full of information and useful resources and support that you guys can use. And then the guidelines and guidance link is also there. So I think all of those things can be of great use to you, and hopefully they're easy access for you. So then Allegheny County Tourism has graciously offered to create a landing page similar to what they do for Museum Week. We kind of thought there was no sense in recreating the wheel. They've done a great job with Museum Week, and they kind of have everything worked out seamlessly. So it just seemed like the logical thing to do was to just partner with them to let them do that. So we will, on Passage's website, we will have a direct link to that page on Allegheny Tourism site. And while this says Museum Week, it clearly won't whenever the page is created. But it will, they will have a direct or a devoted page, landing page for the Maryland 250. So you will be able to find all of the Allegany County Maryland 250 events and everything going on related to the 250 on that landing page. So what you would want to do in order to get your things listed on that page is upload your events, programming, all of that stuff by using that form on the Maryland 250 Commission page. And then we will, on the local side, refer to the Maryland 250 page to get those onto Maryland, to MD Mountainside. So once you submit to the 250 page, then you want to submit to MD Mountainside, and then those will just all be added. And Ashley and Jessica, I know you're both on here. If I'm giving wrong information as to how you want us to do that, chime in. But I know that we plan to refer back to the commission page and then pull that information over into the tourism site. And then other things that we recommend is to, obviously Michelle talked about this, is to incorporate the 250 logo in your programming, events, marketing collateral, all that kind of stuff. Share social media posts that promote the 250. This is not to be forgotten that this is a nationwide event. There's a lot going on. The more we share with each other and our stakeholders' pages and events, the more traffic we're going to draw to everybody. So this is really truly a sharing. Everybody needs to play well in the sandbox together and share, because I think at the end of the day, it's just gonna benefit everybody. There's hopefully going to be a lot going on, so that we can attract people with everybody's events. Then invite your stakeholders to participate. Obviously, if you have stakeholders that have websites and social media that people follow, ask them to share your information as well. And then make sure you include all of your 250 promotions in your newsletters and any kind of outreach that you have internally. So then this is a initiative that we are going to deploy here at the Heritage area, and we're just kind of putting it out there for your information right now. But we will make a formal announcement in September once school starts. But we plan to host a art competition for all the school-age kids in Allegany County and have them on display in June 13th here at the railway station, and then also do a photo contest obviously for the adults, more so for the adults, and have all of that on display down here for like a 250 celebration kind of thing. And again, we'll make a formal announcement of that once school starts, and we've reached out to the public school systems to coordinate that, but we're anticipating that would be in September once we get in line with the school systems there. And we'll probably have other stuff going on, but we're gonna start off with this, and then we're gonna build off that. So then marketing support, these are some of the things that we have posted on through the Heritage area. I know Allegany Tourism is going to be sharing on their pages. And again, this is just samples of, everybody share each other's pages, each other's events, each other's programming. And so that'll just drive, more people here and create more interest. So we will continue to do that throughout the year. Again, important to make sure your stuff's listed so that we can go to the 250 landing page and pull that information, so that we can help promote for you and have all the information that we need to do that. And then obviously this is stuff that I'm sure everybody does. It's just reminders, friendly reminders. Make sure you're tracking your attendance at your events and programming. get surveys if you can, get feedback as you can. Again, this is a statewide national initiative, so it would be great to have, feedback as to where people heard things and where they came from, and all of that kind of insight. And then your engagement on social media, website traffic, if you have a Maryland 250 dedicated page or anything that you can track back. And then again, just share, and we'll try to, have check-ins on occasion with each other, and share information with each other. So if you're doing something, if you did something that you didn't feel was impactful, we can share that information. And if you did something that, had a great response, we can share that with each other as well. And that's all that I have. I'm gonna, just before we go to Q&A, I'm just gonna ask Jessica and Ashley if they have anything they want to share that I didn't cover.
I think that was great. I appreciate all the information, Michelle, that you were able to share with our stakeholders on the call and those that'll be watching it. Just to reiterate what Kim shared, our office will use, will really be augmenting Maryland 250th website on a more micro level, meaning regionally what's happening in Allegany County. And we are just going to really be pushing our partners to make sure that you're checking in first with Maryland 250th and getting your events and your places listed there first. And those that are listed there will then be pulled over into our local website. And the idea is just that obviously we want to take advantage of the reach and the pool that Maryland 250 has and all the work that they've done. It's a great way to kind of foster community and start to celebrate the historical significance of the year. The other thing I just want to encourage everyone on the call is that if you're already doing things in 2026, this is just a great opportunity to think ahead for planning and programming. So for example, Heritage Days, I'm going to pick on them just because I know they're on the call and they're one of our major events, just making sure that the 2026 year is incorporating the pillars and the themes of the Maryland 250th into its programming. The Whiskey Rebellion event at the Allegany Museum, how will you elevate it for 2026? So again, make sure that the Maryland 250th themes shine through. So just start to think ahead on those things. And the other thing I will just encourage you all is right now, I just checked the Maryland 250th website, and there currently is 3 locations in Allegany County listed, and there's 2 events. And those 2 events are happening now. They're not happening in 2026. So for example, Heritage Days, Whiskey Rebellion, I know you're on the call, that's why I'm picking on you guys. Load your events this year on there because it's a great way to get some more exposure for the work that you guys are all doing. Mm-hmm. And as Kim said, and as Michelle said, this is a partnership initiative. From our perspective as marketers, everybody's going to be celebrating the 250th, every county, every state. And so just think of ways in which we can kind of all get behind that and celebrate that and create maybe unique experiences here in Allegany County.
Okay. With that, we'll open the floor up for questions, comments, whatever it is you want to say. Now,
I'll throw a comment out. Basically, we're coming late to this party here. The problem is, the Allegany Museum and I know the Historical Society, we're a volunteer organization. So we basically are looking very short term. So this is focusing us a year ahead of time. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we've not done a lot of planning or thought through this at all. But we're awakening to this now. And unfortunately, the funding at the state level seems to be on a shorter leash than our current planning process. So I guess I'm looking to Dee Dee and you, Kim, will the passages have mini grants available for this at that time and focused on pretty much the 250?
We do. We literally are just getting ready to announce this year's mini grant session cycle open. So obviously we will encourage any kind of Maryland 250 expenditures. That's a no-brainer for us. So it'll,
I think also I'm looking at Dave Williams. I think we want to partner with him and see if we can't come up with historical society and museum programming for this for next year.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think, yeah,
obviously we would encourage that. The mini grant program, which, I know I'm speaking to the choir with you and Dave, you guys have both had multiple mini grants. So the program itself won't really change, but your project of, a Maryland 250 event or whatever it is, obviously would qualify easily. So,
okay. All
yeah.
right, good. That's all I had.
Yep.
I have something to say.
Yeah.
So, this is a great opportunity for partnerships, as Vic suggested. And, of course, we don't want to duplicate efforts, because someone has an idea, like say the children's program, we don't want to duplicate something that might be sponsored by Passages of the
Potomac.
whatever. Right.
Hey,
And Parks and Rec doing something
since we're
else.
getting picked on, let me share, we do have a couple of them in the pipeline. With thanks to the Maryland 250 Historical Society was previously awarded a $4,000 inclusion grant and a $7,500 fellows grant. And we're going to split the implementation of the inclusion grant between Heritage Days 25 and a new freestanding event in 26. And we're going to focus on Indigenous people, both for a presentation at Heritage Days this year, and we'll include the Maryland 250 logo and obviously put that in their platform. And our fellows grant's really interesting. It's a study of early land purchases in the first 2 years of Allegany County's existence. And that report will be available sometime in 26, and we'll do a freestanding event with that as like a history huddle during 26. So we're already in the pipeline for 2 of the grants, and certainly are interested in working with all our existing partners, both for freestanding events and Heritage Days 26, to make more of Heritage Days 26 about Maryland's 250. So we're excited about it.
Passages has also applied for an inclusive history grant. So we have if we're approved, a storytelling series that we would employ with that money. So yeah.
So something I was trying to say was, would it be wise for us to meet so that we don't duplicate efforts, or, or maybe we have some kind of a Excel spreadsheet or something of different events that we're doing, and also resources that we have to share. For instance, like if we wanted to do something at the park, Constitution Park, or at the rec center with kids, or, things like that. How could we all partner to get more bang for the buck?
Right.
Is there?
I mean, I think that's probably as simple as just doing a Google sheet and just sharing it with the group. And then everybody can access it and refer to it and kind of know where everybody is. I'd be happy to do that if that's.
That'd be great. Yeah, because then everybody could kind of have that. We have a committee here at the city. And so, when we're brainstorming, we don't want to do something that's already being done. So
Right.
Yeah, if you can create that sheet, that'd be great, because we can look at it and figure out how to build upon it,
Right.
or create a different event that we see that might be missing.
Okay.
I have a quick question for Michele. The Maryland 250th logo, I know you brought up on the call about us reaching out to you to have a partner logo, if we go that route. Is there any level of rights reserved with the Maryland 250th? Like, for example, some of our vendors or retailers may want to sell like Allegany County Maryland 250th t-shirts in their businesses. Is there any issues with monetizing that logo?
Can you reach out to me and let's just have a conversation about that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
That was exactly what I was going to ask, Ashley. How the small businesses on our main streets can get involved, and I wondered about that. So just let me know what you learned and if I can help with anything. And then I think that Deidre from Frostburg is on the call. Are you still there, Deidre? I can't see you, so I'm not sure.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, there you are. So maybe Deidre and I could get together too and talk about some Main Street initiatives we might be able to do together.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Anybody
I have
else?
a question.
I just wanted to say, in Cumberland, we do a Citizens Leadership Academy. We did it last year for the first time, and it was wildly successful. And we're doing another class this year. It starts in the fall. Ruth, correct me if I'm wrong. I think September maybe. And each class, they're in the evenings, like on Tuesday or Wednesday evening, and they are focused on a specific area of the city each week. So Ruth and I are together. We do kind of community development along with economic development, historic preservation. And then there's one that, 1 week is, and then Parks and Rec is with us as well. And then 1 week might be, executive government where the mayor and city council present. And then there's another week that's public works. You get the picture. So there may be a way, because we're just starting to put all that together, that we could incorporate some of this, into our presentations and to let people know resources and events and things that are going on.
Melinda and Ruth, we are just big believers in citizen academies as transformational opportunities for communities. And if you have not looked at the website of the University of North Carolina, if you go to our grants page to the Citizen Academy section, you can find a link to
Yes.
to this great resource. They have really interesting stuff. They have a whole institute that has just studied and has prepared.
I actually think, Michelle, that our city administrator, Jeff Silka, is the person who brought this last year to all of us, and he wanted to do it. And I'm almost positive that that's where he got a lot of the information, was from North Carolina. So, and he sent it to all of us. And you're right, it was really amazing what they had done. So, we're small and we're starting out, but it was really successful last year, and it's something we all wanted to continue. So, anyway, when you brought that up about the grant, that was interesting to me, as a funding source. So
I hope you apply. And
actually, it's on Jeff Silka's desk. He is going to apply. He ran out of time last week. So you will be getting an application.
yeah, but the deadline's Friday, isn't it?
No,
she said
for Friday is only for inclusive history. And
okay. I missed that. Okay.
Two will remain open until all the funds are expended. Citizen Academy, the sooner you can apply, the better. But we got plenty of money for, dedicated to this. And this is a really important initiative for this commission that that I really hope will be a legacy of the 250th in Maryland.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And if you don't mind, Kim, I have a question. Is there anyone here from the Frostburg Museum?
I don't think so. Deidre's from Frostburg.
Yeah, I'm with the Main Street program, and I can certainly pass along some information.
Can you? Okay, so I need to, we have an application from the Frostburg Museum, and I just need a question answered, and I called and emailed, and if you could have someone either call me at the number that is right here or email me. I just need to connect with them before this application can move forward.
Yeah.
And Deidre, can you reach out to me, because you might be able to help me get an answer to this. So if you could contact me after this meeting, I would appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything they want to share or discuss?
Well, one question, I was in a meeting last night where somebody wondered if there was an upside opportunity to zero in on like the 4th of July in 2026 and create an event that honors Maryland 250, and just create a new freestanding, day of celebration that can attract some folks to participate in, that's just brand new, and all it does is just celebrate the Maryland 250 concept.
And actually, there have been discussions of something very similar in other communities. And we are really, the commission itself, we are not going to plan a statewide event for July 4th. People have asked me that many times, and we would never do anything to undermine our stakeholders and partners all around the state. But we do encourage, something really special on July 4th, 2026. And if
Because
we can be of any
yeah,
assistance, just reach out.
yeah. Well, that's a possibility. I mean, we talked a little bit about it last night, and I think the question would be, we're bottom liners in terms of trying to attract people to our community, and so it would have to have a kind of a destination value to us. But I think that that's certainly possible, and it's a great way. It's a great day to celebrate it. So. We've not had great success on 4th of July events in Allegany County because everybody's planning to do something else. So it's a possibility, but I appreciate everybody's interest in it. And Michelle, if we come up with something, we'll touch base with you and see what you think.
That would be awesome. And actually, Mary Zell and I just last week attended a kickoff meeting in Annapolis, where the Annapolis 250 Commission and partners were discussing a special July 4th, 2026 in Annapolis. So these conversations are happening around the state. I know that Dorchester County is looking at doing something they have never, ever done before. And I could really see having a virtual statewide convening in the very near future that is focused on July 4th, 2026. And so when we pull that together, I really encourage you to be represented there. And one other seed that I want to plant. Has anyone heard of Maryland Day? Yeah. Well, we have been searching in the couple of years since our website launched. We have been searching for Maryland Day events around Maryland. And strangely enough, the only ones that we have found are in Southern Maryland and in Anne Arundel County. And so I have decided, and I hope you don't think I'm crazy, but I've decided that another legacy of this commission I would like to see happen is Maryland Day, commemorated all around the state. And so I would, I'm just planting a seed with you because you have plenty of lead up time at this point. Why not have a Maryland Day event festivities in Allegany County in 2026 and just build this into your annual programming. And anyway, so this is something that I have and I'm going to continue to discuss with our stakeholders all around the state. I don't, it's strange. I just don't understand how it could be that we have a Maryland Day and it's only commemorated, in a very limited part of the state.
I had one quick question about the inclusive history grants, especially since that's so quick coming up. I'm just trying to understand, is it specifically for the time period, surrounding the revolution, or, are we looking at sort of history throughout?
History throughout. Okay, I'm unmuted. I just wanted to double check. It is really for community-centered 250th research, events, programs, projects, and exhibits. And that is the one with the deadline of this Friday at 11:59 p.m. But from a timeline perspective, while in some communities or the Daughters of the American Revolution, for instance, their perspective is this is about the Revolutionary period. But in the state of Maryland, our executive order specifically says 250 years. So we are not limited to the Revolutionary period. So if you have a proposal that you would like to submit for an event that meets the criteria, and I encourage you, we have guidelines and guidance for each of the 3 grant programs. We have frequently asked questions. You can view a PDF of the application. So I encourage you to go to the grants page of our website and just take a look. And then once you've done that for inclusive history or for any of the 3 grant programs, if you have questions, just reach out.
Okay.
I know we talked about the logo just a second ago. Is there a chance that, and maybe I missed this, that we can all get the logo, get the logo so that we can use it on our social media, as we start to promote things. Like I see the MD250 logo on the bottom left of the slide that's up right now.
I have, you sent those to me, Michelle. Can I disperse those to the folks on this call?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Nicole, I'm happy to send you, we have them in like 4 different colors and 2 different styles, and I'm happy to send you like the master file with everything. If you want to like choose how you distribute everything, I'll follow up with you after the call if you'd like.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else? Okay. So I will, this presentation will be available on our YouTube page. I will also send it out via a Dropbox link to everybody that was on the call. And I will follow up with Mary Zell about the logos and send those out in addition to this presentation. And we'll schedule a follow-up. I don't know how frequently we'll need to do that. Michelle, how often are people doing that? Like quarterly, maybe?
Because because the semi-quincentennial is rapidly approaching, I would suggest that maybe you meet once a month until you feel that you've got a handle on things, and then you can see where things stand. But I would really suggest meeting again in another month. And I just want to say our team, we are happy to join you, whenever you invite us. So just invite us, and we'll keep you posted on new opportunities that may arise.
Okay, we will take you up on that offer, and I'll set up a meeting for August and send out to everybody. And I will also, Ruth, work on your Google spreadsheet if people want to. I'll just create that, share it, and then people can just add to it as they are developing things, or if they already have things they want to add to it. Just put it on there and we can keep that, hopefully keep that current, and we can all use it as a resource.
Yeah, and I think that will also kind of help take place of meetings. If some people can't make a meeting or something like that, it just helps the communication. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all I have. Again, I appreciate everybody coming. It was a great conversation, and I think we're headed in the right direction. I don't have my contact information on here, but when you receive my emails, all of my contact information is on there. So everybody should have that, and feel free to reach out to me. And I know Michelle is very accessible. I've talked to her a lot, so don't hesitate to reach out to her as well. So. And that's it.
Thank you all, and
Thanks,
good
everybody.
luck. And we are excited to partner with you through this journey towards the semi-quincentennial.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All good.
everybody.
Thank you.